deal? What's it going to take? Joining me right now, Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall and former Bush advisor Brad Blakeman. Good to see you guys. Brad, starting with you, what's the path to 1237? Are you ruling it out, or can he get there?
Well, yeah, he can get there, but it's not going to be easy, and it never is. But when Trump's winning, the system works, and when he's losing, it doesn't. And by the way, the very people you're disrespecting now in those states like Colorado and Wyoming, you're going to need them to get to 1237. Number one. Number two, you're going to need them at the convention for rules and other things. But most importantly, you're going to need the people of those states in a general election if you're fortunate enough to be the nominee.
Okay, so you think he's running a risk by, saying, do we have the sound of what he said about Wyoming over the weekend? You know, he's basically saying that Wyoming is a cooked system. Watch him here.
I don't want to waste millions of dollars going out to Colorado knowing the system is rigged. I don't want to waste millions of dollars going out to Wyoming many months before to wine and dine and to essentially pay off all these people, because a lot of it's a payoff. You understand that. They treat them, they take them to dinner, they get them hotels. I mean, the whole thing's a big payoff.
Okay, so that's a pretty big accusation there, Brad. He's saying that basically you can buy these delegates?
Look, and by the way, there's no proof that any of that took place. The fact is, Donald Trump didn't go to those states at all.
There's no proof.
He didn't campaign at all.
He didn't campaign because he probably figured he didn't have a shot at winning in Wyoming.
Of course. So you got to blame something.
Okay, so Wyoming, he lost all 12 of those delegates, but, you know, he did pretty well in a number of other states. You get things like Pennsylvania coming up right now after New York, Leslie, and you could argue that momentum is on Trump's side, but as Brad points out, 1237, it ain't easy.
No, it's not easy, and I agree. And I agree with him when he says, you know, the system is rigged when it's not working in your favor. And I also agree with him that you cannot poo-poo states that may not make you their guy, because if you're on that platform, if eventually, and I think he will eventually perhaps get to that number, you're the nominee, and you need those states to come out and not stay home and vote, or not vote for your opponent if they're not in love with you and not so loyal to their party.
It sounds like you guys don't like this strategy, that you don't think it's a strategy that ultimately is going to help him. I'm going to beg to differ, because I think actually this is a very smart strategy for him to employ right now, in the here and now. He's worried about getting to that 1237. So what better way to motivate voters and basically stick it to the RNC and say, hey, guys, we better talk here, than say it's a rigged system, Leslie?
Well, here's the thing. The system is, in a sense, I hate that word, rigged. Is it rigged, or is it something as a politician you have a vast working knowledge of, and you have the right team in your campaign on the ground?
Okay,
and that's what we're seeing with Cruz.
Not because consultants. You know, so everyone can stay employed. The more complicated we make this discussion, it reminds me of accountants and tax code, Brad.
Yeah. Well, look, at least it's not 47,000 pages. But one thing is for sure, is Trump did not employ the proper people at the proper time, like Ted Cruz had done months before, in order to make the rules work in his favor. That's called playing the game. And if Trump isn't up to the game, then maybe he's not up to being the candidate for the Republican Party.
This kind of surprises me in some ways. You know, look, I mean, he's a guy who's built a very successful business. I mean, he didn't become a billionaire by staying home and doing nothing. And he has been successful in the deal-making space. I mean, how is a guy who's smart, who is choosing to run for president, not really looking to, you know, cross his T's, dots the I's, all of that kind of thing? Why is he not paying attention to the detail, Brad?
Well, I think it's because he does not want to spend money. You know, he's got short arms and deep pockets. He talks a good game about spending money, but then he mocks the fact that he hasn't spent the money like other people have done. And look where he is. The fact of the matter is, you have to spend money. You need the accoutrements of a campaign. You need organization. You need competent people. And you need to know what the rules are. And this is like Trump building a 100-story building without elevators or stairs. This isn't the way you run an operation.
Yeah, he needed a bigger staff, in your view. He'd probably differ with that. Anyway, I'm going to see you guys in a little bit, so we'll continue talking. Thank you.